Chapter 266. My name is Fang Zheng. Wei Yang was sent flying by Fang Yuan's fist, and before he stabilized himself, spiral bone spears came flying from above. The spiral bone spears penetrated the air, shooting like lightning with a crisp sound at such a distance. Wei Yang could even see the spiral carvings on the bone spear tip. These spiral bone spear goo, although strong and are able to penetrate defenses, are only rank 2 goo worms. There is no threat in them. At that instant, Wei Yang's thoughts moved like lightning. Bai Ningbing's blue eyes were cold as ice. Wei Yang challenging both of them at the same time triggered the arrogance in her heart. Spiral bone spear can only restrict him. I don't have enough goo. If I want to finish him, I'll need to use my fists and legs. She was a genius when Fang Yuan sent Wei Yang flying. Although it was just one hit, it showed Bai Ningbing his weakness. Wei Yang had never received a permanent strength boost from any goo worms. He only had the strength of a normal human. This was a major weakness that could be exploited. Bai Ningbing took many steps ahead, following after the bone spears and raising her leg to kick harshly. Brother Wei. Little Xiao, who was watching the match, saw this scene and started to worry that if Wei Yang's movements were restricted by the bone spears, it would give Bai Ningbing a chance to strike. At the same time, if Fang Yuan cornered him, Wei Yang would be in a disadvantage. At the final moment, Wei Yang laughed. As the spiral bone spear was about to hit him, suddenly, his body shone in a white light, and he turned into a flash and vanished. He had this goo indeed. Fang Yuan squinted. What quick speed! Bai Ningbing's pupils shrunk. Feeling astonished, the next second, the spiral bone spears pierced through the flagstone, stabbing into the ground. Bai Ningbing could not stop her momentum. With a bang, her leg crushed the flagstone. The spider web-like cracks enveloped the ground. Big Brother Wei's rainbow-like goo. I thought he might not use it in time, but to think he was waiting for that moment to escape, causing his enemies to hit nothing. Superb, this is a strong blow against the enemy's psychology. Little Xiao could tell the intentions of his actions, seeing that they were about to gravely injure their enemy. An escape at the last moment would turn hope into disappointment. Anyone would experience this change of emotion. Rainbow light tore through the air. As the light dispersed, Wei Yang's body appeared again in the blink of an eye. He flew over 50 meters, more than half the battle stage, pulling great distance from Fang and Bai. Seeing such speed, Bai Ningbing's footsteps came to a halt. With the rainbow-like goo, Wei Yang could come and go as he pleases, fighting whenever he wants to. At this point, it was impossible for him to lose. Rainbow-like goo was a rank 3 goo, capable of allowing a goo master to turn into light and escape. It was the fastest among the rank 3 movement goo. In contrast, Fang Yuan only had the jumping grass, while the other had no movement goo. With Wei Yang's speed, they had no chance of hitting him. In terms of movement, the rainbow-like goo gave Wei Yang a huge advantage. Once this goo was used, Fang and Bai could work together but still fall into a passive state. Guests, this is the rainbow-like goo. Although it is rank 3, its speed far surpasses many rank 4 goo. The speed is so fast even the goo master cannot react in time. That is the first weakness. To use it, one has to use the lightning thoughts goo or a flash of inspiration goo or others. Otherwise, by the time the goo master reacts, they would have flown too far and even crashed into a wall. Wei Yang spoke, admitting the flaws of the rainbow-like goo. Its second weakness is that it expends too much primeval essence. Among rank 3 goo, this expenditure is already middle-high tier consumption. There is a third weakness, but I shall not mention it. You can guess for yourselves. Is that the fact that you cannot use a strength goo to raise your physical strength? Bai Ningbing immediately answered. This time, it was Wei Yang's turn to express shocked. He gave a look of amazement. Miss Bai Yun really has great cognitive abilities. Indeed, if a goo master uses a goo worm to alter their body and increase their strength, it will be difficult to utilize the rainbow-like goo. Their primeval essence expenditure will increase drastically, or worse, the light transformation might fail and the rainbow-light goo would be destroyed. But to think, after Bai Ningbing heard his praise, her expression turned cold as her gaze was like ice, staring at Wei Yang with killing intent. Hey, let me warn you. Do not call me miss. Wei Yang's expression froze. What did I say wrong? Is it wrong to use the word miss? What a strange taboo. Wei Yang thought in his heart as he apologized. I'm sorry for the offense, Lady Bai Yun. Veins popped on by Ning Bing's forehead as she gritted her teeth. Do not use that either. Oh then, Sir Bai Yun. Wei Yang observed her expression as he carefully chose his vocabulary. Bai Ningbing's face finally returned to normal. Wei Yang's lips curled into a smile, continuing. Then two sirs, it is my turn to attack. Give me all you've got. Fang Yuan patted his chest, screaming and scaring Bai Ningbing who was right beside him. Sir He too is truly brave and admirable. Then take my hit. Wei Yang praised. As he spoke, he turned into a white light and crashed towards Fang and Bai. Facing such speed, Fang and Bai could not even blink before this rainbow went through the gap between them and arrived behind them. The white light dispersed and turned back into Wei Yang that he held two broadswords and slashed them towards Fang Yuan and Bai Ningbing respectively. Before this broadsword hit, Bai Ningbing felt her skin tighten. She immediately knew that the ice muscle's protection could not endure this blade, and she quickly retreated. Fang Yuan growled lightly, not dodging but activating the canopy goo and flying bone shield goo, sending his fist over. The light broadsword first split the white bone shield into half. Wei Yang turned into light and fled again. Seeing his fist about to land on Wei Yang's chest, Fang Yuan was just an inch away before missing entirely. The rainbow light flew away and stopped far away. The entire exchange of blows was done at lightning speed, in less than a few seconds. Wei Yang had moved from a side of the battle stage to another, over 100 meters long. Again, Fang Yuan howled, battle intent burning in his eyes. Wei Yang turned into light again, appearing before Fang and Bai in an instant. Bai Ningbing could not endure it head-on. She could only use the spiral bone spear, but Wei Yang's speed was too fast, causing her bone spears to hit air. Fang Yuan could only endure the hits passively. Other than the first time, his fist never hit Wei Yang again. At once, light flashed across the battle stage continuously, like a bouncing ball trapped in a box. Meanwhile, Fang and Bai could barely take the hits, having completely lost their momentum. Is this Big Brother Wei's true power? Too impressive. Little Xiao observed the chaotic sight before him. Wei Yang's speed was terrific, like a specter moving in the shadows. After a few more minutes, he stopped his movements. If both guests want to compete in terms of expenditure and are trying to exploit the weakness of my rainbow light goo which consumes massive amounts of primeval essence, I am afraid you are going to be disappointed. I have a light source goo in my hand. It is an assistance type goo whose only use is to allow a goo master's primeval essence expenditure to be halved when using a light type goo. Damn it! Bai Ningbing clenched her teeth in anger. Fang Yuan waved his hand about. No more, I can't win. Brother Wei, we concede. Wei Yang laughed heartily, cupping his fists. It has been an honor. Little Xiao, seeing the battle ended, immediately came over, with excitement still lingering on his face. Big Brother Wei is truly impressive, but both sirs managing to endure so long is equally impressive. You may not know, but Brother Wei has superior battle skills even though he is rank 3 peak stage. He is Lord Shang Yin, Phase 3rd General, called the White Light Swordsman. If it was me, I would not even be able to exchange 20 blows with him. A loss is a loss, there is no big deal. Wei Yang, after I get my hands on suitable goo worms, I will challenge you once again. Bai Ningbing's expression was icy cold. From young, the arrogant her had never lost so badly. Her mood was obviously terrible. Little Xiao, seeing Bai Ningbing address Wei Yang by his name, showed displeasure on his face. Fang Yuan stood at the side. Brother Wei Yang held back already. I can feel it. Heh. After I buy some useful goo, I will spar with you again. Although I lost this time, I am still indignant. Next time, please use your full strength. Do not worry about the consequences. Ha ha ha. Brother He too speaks his mind. It is my fault this time. Next time I will definitely use my full ability. Wei Yang patted Fang Yuan's shoulder. That's the way. Brother Wei Yang, I accept my loss completely. Let me treat you to some wine. Brother Xiao, you can come along too, and tell me about Brother Wei's heroic tales. I can only beat him after learning all about him, right? Fang Yuan laughed. Little Xiao felt that this person, although ugly and lacked an ear, was very pleasant to look at. Compared to that freak Bai Yun, his temper was way better. All right. Little Xiao laughed. Fighting made us closer. I know a restaurant. Newly opened, cheap, and also serves good food. We cannot make our guests pay. Let me treat tonight. I hope Big Brother Wei can come too. Fang Yuan stared. How can we do that? Little Xiao is a local. While you two are guests, let him treat. Wei Yang came in to advice. Fang Yuan thought about it. Okay, this time you will treat, but let me do it next time. I don't have money with me anyway. After I sell my recipe and get money, I will treat you two to a good meal. To speak the truth, after coming here, I have been shocked by the commodity prices. His words were a little cheeky, and also admitted that he was poor, causing Wei Yang and Little Xiao to laugh, thinking that Fang Yuan was a clear and upright man. Only by Ningbing knew Fang Yuan's acting skills. Seeing this, she was used to it already. In the room, the three drank wine and spoke, announcing their names, pulling their relationships closer together. Only by Ningbing drank water, being alone and enjoying her peace. Little Xiao was called Xiao Yin, 27 years old, specializing in fire-type goo worms. Recently his cultivation rose by a small realm to rank 3 middle stage, thus finally breaking through the 4th inner city's battle zone and reaching 3rd inner city. Hey, Tu Bai Yun are just fake names. My real name is Guyu Fangzheng. She is by Ningbing. Fang Yuan pretended to be drunk and exposed some information. They had the Bai clan arrest warrant. As long as Shang clan investigated, the matter could not be kept secret. Fang Yuan gave it away on purpose, to give off the impression of having a clear conscience. Xiao Yin was a little moved. He and Wei Yang were demonic goo masters. Fang Yuan telling them his real name was an act of true friendship. Surname Guyu. Light flashed across Wei Yang's eyes. This was an important information. It seems that the mission given by the clan leader has been successfully completed. Chapter 267. Greatly underestimated Fang Yuan's shamelessness. Guyu Fangzhang? Listening to Wei Yang's report, Shang Yinfei frowned slightly. Guyu is a distinct surname. Shang Yinfei searched through his memories and soon found it. Guyu clan, one of the 3 clans of Qingmao Mountain, having hundreds of years of history. Qingmao Mountain. Shang Yinfei's gaze brightened as he recalled an intel he got over half a year ago. Qingmao Mountain was mysteriously attacked and within a night, changed from a green and lively mountain to a deadly domain of ice and snow. Even till now, the ice and snow on Qingmao Mountain had yet to completely melt. No one knew what happened at Qingmao Mountain, but from all kinds of traces found there, people knew there had been a huge battle between goo masters. Now, Qingmao Mountain's destruction was classified as a mysterious event and was already spread all over the southern border. As to what caused this, opinions differed from people to people. However, to certain people, the traces left on Qingmao Mountain made it obvious. The secret of the 10 extreme physiques was more or less known to the higher-ups of the goo master world. The moment he got this intel, Shang Yinfei had also immediately guessed this was brought upon by one of the 10 extreme physiques, Northern Dark Ice Soul Physique. If that is the case, Guyu Fangzhang's origins can be explained. The group sent to investigate the incident on Mu Bei Mountain also sent a letter saying there was no suspicious point. Shang Yinfei drew up an approximate outline of the whole affairs in his mind. Now, there is only one doubt remaining. Why did they conceal their identities and hide in the caravan? Shang Yinfei already had many conjectures, but it still needed to be investigated. Right? You sparred with them. How were their skills? Shang Yinfei asked. Wei Yang's expression was solemn as he respectfully reported. Geniuses. Given time, these 2 will definitely surpass me. Oh, you have such a high opinion of them? Shang Yinfei was slightly amazed. Wei Yang nodded and continued. They might be concealing their cultivation with some goo worms, but being able to last so long in battle, they should at least be rank 3. Considering their young age, these 2 should both have a grade aptitude. Shang Yinfei smiled. But Wei Yang, a grade aptitude only represents talent and not everything. You, yourself, are the best proof of this. You have only B grade aptitude but have become one of my external elders. Furthermore, how many A grade talents have died in your hands over these years? In ordinary clans, a grade aptitude was an extraordinary matter. However, to Shang clan, they were rather common. One reason was because it was a large clan and there were many clansmen. Another was because they recruited demonic goo masters. Those demonic goo masters who distinguished themselves in battle arena definitely had extraordinary aptitudes. And the third reason was because Shang clan's riches were as high as a mountain. They had the ability to purchase aptitude-changing goo worms. You praise me too much, Lord Clan Leader. Wei Yang modestly said and continued. I also understand this logic. Thus I am even more sure these two are extraordinary. They have rich combat talents and have a sort of innate sense towards the battle situation, as if they were born to fight. They also did not have a complete set of goo worms, but they were able to last for so long just with 2 to 3 goo. It truly was amazing. As to their disposition, they were tough and were not discouraged when disadvantaged. When I exerted pressure on them, they were able to make a breakthrough and constantly adjust themselves. They also have tacit and great teamwork. As the battle continued, they were able to hold their ground even more stably. Their improvement was extremely clear. Individually, the two have some differences. Gu Fangzheng is straightforward, charging forward with incomparable bravery and has a lofty disposition. As for that by Ningbing, she is quick-witted with a sharp gaze and only moves when she is sure of it. She had been constantly trying to find my weakness during the battle. In particular, Gu Fangzheng admitted his loss calmly when I said I possessed a light source Gu. He is broad-minded and absolutely has a larger heart than any ordinary man. Lord Clan Leader, these two. One is a young tiger of the lands while the other is a dragon whelp of the seas. One young and one Een, one domineering and another scheming. A perfect combination, the brilliance of twin stars, each enhancing the other's strength. If we can recruit them, it will be a huge asset to Shang Clan. Shang Yanfei was moved. Before, he did not put Feng and Bai in his eyes. Now his interest was greatly aroused as he listened to Wei Yang. Wei Yang, you have followed me for many years. I trust in your foresight. But there is no need to undervalue yourself. They might not necessarily be able to top you even after they grow up. You are hindered by lacking aptitude. Otherwise, with your talent, you would be even more outstanding than now. There is no need to worry. If a reform Gu appear, I will definitely help you get it. Reform Gu could raise a Gu master's aptitude. It was extremely rare and expensive. Wei Yang's eyes turned red with emotions. I won't forget this kindness for as long as I live. I, Shang Yanfei, will never treat my loyal followers unfairly. Leave now, continue attending to them for a few days and see what they think about Shang Clan and whether we can recruit them or not. Yes, Clan Leader. In a blink of an eye, 3 days passed. Ninshogarden.I in the lounge, Fang Yuan and Shang Yizi was sitting opposite each other. Fang Yuan leisurely tasted the tea while Shang Yizi's expression looked rather unsightly. These few days. I have been sincerely coming to look for Sir, but you have been raising your price again and again. First it was 650,000, but you have raised it by tens of thousands every day, and now Sir actually wants 800,000. Is Sir possibly playing with me to pass time? Shang Yizi was feeling stifled and talked with clenched teeth. If it was before, he would have already burst out in anger and smashed the teacup on Fang Yuan's face. But now, he could not do that. Why? Because this guy could directly complain to the clan leader. I still don't know what relation they have with Lord Father. These days, Wei Yang has been accompanying them around the city. What kind of person was Wei Yang? He is known as the third general and is Lord Father's trusted aide. His actions don't usually represent himself, but rather Lord Father's will. But why is Lord Father giving such deferential treatment to these two guys that appeared out of nowhere? Shang Yizi was bothered and bewildered. Since that day, he had been crazily investigating the two. But it was in vain. He was merely a young master. His authority was limited to Shang Clan City. He was far from having the huge capability of Shang Yanfei. The investigations bore no fruits, so he was forced to make guesses. Why is Lord Father expressing his goodwill? Is it because of the inheritance in their hands? No. An inheritance might interest an ordinary clan, but not ours. Unless it is the inheritance of a rank 6 Gu immortal, it would just be icing on the cake. Or is it because they were talents? No way, there are so many loyal demonic Gu masters in the battle stage, they would die to join Shang Clan, and are extremely skilled in fighting. If Father is not interested in those people, why would he want these two? No matter how he thought about it, Shang Yizi could not think of an answer. When these two guesses were rejected, a thought emerged in Shang Yizi's mind. Are these two Father's illegitimate child? Isn't Shang Tua Hai, the current young clan leader, Father's illegitimate child? Shang Yizi pondered it again and felt that it couldn't be. The implication of being Father's bloodline is too great. When Shang Tua Hai was discovered, he was firmly protected and safeguarded. Unlike these two, Shang Yizi kept on agonizing over this but could not make progress. And it was because of this, he was even more afraid of Feng and Bai. The most terrifying things were often the unknown. Fang Yuan could tell this young master Shang Yizi was becoming more and more restless and impatient over these few days. This was what he wanted to see. This was also one of the reasons he was intentionally raising the prices every day. If he directly raised 650,000 to 800,000, the negotiations would definitely collapse. But by raising the price by tens of thousands time and again, it would instead wear down Fang Yuan's resistance in his firm, resolute heart. The time was ripe. Fang Yuan placed the teacup down and smiled. Everything has their worth. This might only be a Gu master's inheritance to others, but to you, esteemed young master, it is the final hope to protect your young master status. As such, the price should be a little higher, and as the evaluation date draws closer, the price for this inheritance will naturally keep on getting higher. Thus, I have been increasing the price every other day. Isn't this something natural? If the price is lowered, how could it be worthy of your final hope? How could it be worthy of such an important position as Shang Clan's young master? After all, only Shang Clan young masters can compete for young clan leader's position. Shang Yi's eyes shook with anger. This was blatant blackmailing. This guy was raising the price as he pleased. How could he be so shameless? Shang Yi wished he could chop Fang Yuan into pieces. But he thought of the position of young master and was able to barely restrain himself. You are really scheming. If I spend 800,000, it will be a complete loss and will instead lower my evaluation. Those elders in charge of evaluation are not stupid. Thus, I simply can't buy it at this price. Fang Yuan had already expected this answer. The corner of his lips slightly curled up into a smile. Therefore, I have a good solution. I will be openly selling it to you in 650,000, but you will actually be giving me 800,000. You will maintain your young master's position, and I will be getting a reasonable price. It is a complete win-win situation. Shang Yi's expression immediately changed and stared at Fang Yuan with wide eyes. You want me to make a false account? This is impossible. If I am found out, no matter when, my young master's status will be revoked and moreover, I will receive a severe punishment. Fang Yuan gave a frivolous look. You can't say that. Who said anything about false account? I am only selling the secret recipe to you. And you, feeling that I am an upright man, kindly gave me some primeval stones as a gift. There is simply no relation between the two. At that instance, Shang Yi could only look at Fang Yuan, stupefied and speechless. He had previously thought Fang Yuan was shameless, but now saw that he had greatly underestimated this guy's shamelessness. Chapter 268, Sudden Wealth. Shang Yi left worriedly. Before he left, he told Fang Yuan that this matter was important and he needed more time to consider it. But the fact that he was considering it meant that success was near. Fang Yuan had seen through this person, knowing that the matter is as good as decided. In fact, he could even raise the prices again when the time comes. Right now, he was hesitant, so Fang Yuan could not use prices to agitate him. Once he is determined, then the prices will soar again. That is simply too easy. 2 days later, Shang Yi carried a haggard expression as he visited Fang Yuan again. I agree. Let's deal according to what you have requested. He gritted his teeth. After showing a hesitant expression for a long time, he finally relented. Trust me, you will definitely remember this decision. Come, drink. Fang Yuan smiled lightly, pouring a glass of wine for Shang Yi. Shang Yi raised his cup, drinking the wine in one mouthful. What sort of shitty wine is this? After drinking it, he frowned and scolded. This is the cheapest rice wine. Lord young master, I have no money to purchase good wine. Fang Yuan laughed lightly. You will have it soon enough. Puff. Shang Yi breathed out heavily. He had first thought about it, and as he concentrated on making a decision, it was a painful process. But now that he has decided, he felt relaxed. All right, I have prepared the agreement. Take a look. Fang Yuan brought over a proposal. Shang Yi glanced at it and stared in anger, his eyes wide with rage as he slammed the table and screamed. 950,000? You raised the prices again. Last time, you said 800,000, but it has only been a few days and you raised it by 150,000. Do you think I'm made of gold? Scoundrel, you think my primeval stones fall from the sky? Fang Yuan smiled lightly as he said calmly. It has already been 3 days. Of course the price is increased. You know it yourself. Shang Yi's forehead was popping with veins as he jumped from his seat. Do you think I am easy to bully? I do not have so much money. This tiny little inheritance, you want 950? You are like a lion opening its huge mouth. Calm down. Anger will harm your health. Lord young master, this is not a tiny inheritance. It concerns your young master position. Think about it. Every year, one young master will be eliminated. How many people are craving for this spot? Fang Yuan said casually. Once he heard the young master position, the furious Shang Yizi lost his rage. Fang Yuan looked at his expression, knowing that 950 was over his limit, and relented. All right. Then how about 900,000 primeval stones? I concede to you. Shang Yizi slowly sat down that he had only gotten into the young master position for a year, and had to deal with the evaluations. The actual amount of primeval stones he managed to pocket was only around 400,000, in no doubt. After this transaction, his 1 year of savings will be depleted. The assets that he had managed to save would be gone. But concerning the young master position, he had to relent. He was solemn for a moment, before nodding. Then 900,000 it is, but I do not trust a paper agreement. We need to swear. Let's use the poison vow gu. Fang Yuan showed hesitation. Why, are you afraid? How would I know if you would not run away if we do not use the poison vow gu? We have to do this. There is no way I'm giving in on this. Shang Yizi's attitude was firm. Fang Yuan had expected this to happen anyway. In that case, let me do it first. Fang Yuan stretched out his left hand. Only then did Shang Yizi let out a smile, calling out the poison vow gu. Poison vow gu is a purple-red worm, only finger size, and has a dangerous-looking mouth. It was a rank 3 consumable Gud. It flew to Fang Yuan's left index finger, and bit on it once. A heart-burning pain assaulted Fang Yuan's nerves. Fang Yuan endured the pain as he started to read the details on the proposal. After he finished, the poison vow gu nearly doubled in size, as it absorbed Fang Yuan's heart blood. Soon after, the poison vow gu flew to Shang Yizi's finger and started to suck blood. Shang Yizi gripped the paper and used a trembling voice to read the details, and the poison vow gu doubled in size again. His face turned pale from pain as he clenched his teeth and drew in a deep breath. This goddamn agreement. Why is it so lengthy? Can't you write less words? Is there anything to add? Fang Yuan shook his head. Shang Yizi's lips curled, revealing a smile. But his face was twisted, and his smile was a little hideous. Bam! The poison vow gu stuffed with blood suddenly exploded. But no blood splattered but instead turned into numerous red light spots. The light spots flew towards Fang Yuan and Shang Yizi, like rain falling into a pond, and fused into their bodies. This shows that the poison vow gu has taken effect if both sides read the details and it did not fulfill their true inner intentions. After the poison vow gu explodes, it would turn into a puddle of stale blood. This situation means that one side or both had violated the vow, causing it to fail. Seeing this, Shang Yizi's smile became even deeper. He looked at Fang Yuan. We have vowed already. If you change your mind in the future, or violate the agreement, you will turn into a puddle of blood and die. Fang Yuan's expression remained the same, only saying, Where are my primeval stones? Shang Yizi shrugged. Don't worry, why would I violate the agreement here? He tossed out a gu. This gu was like a ball, as exquisite as a crystal, half-transparent and palm-sized. There was a cloudy figure in the ball, as if it has sealed numerous clouds. This white cloud figure looked like a hunchback old man carrying a walking stick. The old man had long white hair, having an immortal feeling as the wrinkles on his face looked extremely realistic, and he was smiling sincerely. This is the primeval elder gu. A gu specifically used to store primeval stones. As the saying goes, professionals have their domain of expertise. The primeval elder gu is only a rank 3, but it can seal up to 1 million primeval stones. There is 870,000 primeval stones here. The remaining 30,000, I will pass them to you when I finish gathering them. Shang Yizi passed the primeval elder gu to Fang Yuan with much reluctance. Inside, 600,000 was the trade credit of Shang clan. The remaining 270 was Shang Yizi's personal savings. After Fang Yuan received it, he cooperated with Fang Yuan in refining it. Primeval elder gu changed owners, and change occurred within the clouds. The old man was originally looking at Shang Yizi, but now he started to smile towards Fang Yuan instead. Fang Yuan moved the primeval elder gu around, but no matter which direction he moved, the clouds would transform and the old man would smile towards Fang Yuan regardless. Actually, This goo is quite interesting that if the primeval stones inside are little, the old man would frown and show a bitter expression. If the amount was just nice, the old man would be expressionless. And finally, the more the number of primeval stones towards the limit, the more the old man would smile. Shang Yizi saw Fang Yuan manipulate the primeval elder goo and knew he was clear on how the goo worked. He snorted. This primeval elder goo is quite valuable. I cannot give it to you for free. I bought this on the auction and it cost me 6,600 primeval stones. Fang Yuan nodded. Rank 3 goo were sold by thousands of primeval stones, and the primeval elder goo was a rare one. It was definitely worth that amount. He immediately took out primeval stones to give Shang Yizi. Shang Yizi used an ordinary storage goo and kept these primeval stones, feeling horrible on the inside. These were originally his primeval stones. Never mind. As long as I can keep my young master position, all is possible. I can earn my primeval stones back, and for this guy who extorted me, he will die a horrible death. Shang Yizi was not a big-hearted person. Fang Yuan robbed him of all his fortune, and he even had to borrow around for the final 30,000. That white bone recipe was normally 600,000, but Fang Yuan sold it for 900. Shang Yizi rubbed his nose. After suffering such a loss, he felt extreme hatred towards Fang Yuan. The final 30,000, I will pass it to you in 3 days. This matter is known by the two of us only. No third party is allowed to know. Not even your companion. Don't think of finding a loophole. It is useless. Shang Yizi got up and left. He could no longer stand being there. Every extra second, he looked at Fang Yuan's hideous face. The anger in his heart would accumulate a bit more. There are no loopholes in the agreement. You looked through, didn't you? Fang Yuan showed a plain expression. Shang Yizi snorted. He was born of Shang clan. Being influenced from young, and also having managed this shop for a year, there were no loopholes that could avoid his notice. I bet you wouldn't dare to break the agreement. He laughed in disdain, quickly leaving. Fang Yuan did not take it to heart. He knew that Shang Yizi's current mood was very understandable. As for the poison vow, he was not going to obey it. Poison vow goo's restriction is very strong. Otherwise, no goo masters would use it in a way of exposing it to a third party. That is absolute. Any curveballs were risking one's own life. Like earlier, Fang Yuan passed 6,600 primeval stones to Shang Yizi. This was an extra action. He could have just deducted it from the 30,000 primeval stones. But note in the poison vow, they stated 900,000. Thus Shang Yizi had to fork out 900,000 primeval stones to Fang Yuan. This was the cold hard rules. 3 days later, Shang Yizi gathered 30,000 primeval stones and handed it to Fang Yuan at the same time. Fang Yuan passed the recipe to him. Of course, the most valuable bone flesh unity goo was not sold. Shang Yizi only knew of the bone spear goo, spiral bone spear goo, etc. After looking at the recipe, he found many other recipes that uses the bone spear goo as the base, and felt pleased by it. His mood turning better, Fang Yuan then sold the bone spear goo, spiral bone spear goo, as well as the bone spike goo to him. As with their original agreement, it was 40,620 primeval stones. As a result, after this transaction, Fang Yuan's assets rose to 934,020 primeval stones too. With his savings, the total is about 945,003. Fang Yuan placed most of his primeval stones into the primeval elder goo. To prevent accidents, he also placed some on his body, and some into the tusita flower. In my previous life at this time, I was still slogging in the caravan, with only 50 to 60 primeval stones on me. But right now I am nearly a millionaire. Fang Yuan compared this with his memories, and the advantages of his rebirth can be easily seen. Of course, he took huge risks as well. The larger the risk, the greater the benefits. There is no free lunch in this world. Effort might not reap reward, but to gain reward, one has to invest first. In a flash, 3 days passed. Shang clan's investigations ended, and Wei Yang brought Shang Yin Fei's invitation over. Two esteemed guests, my lord clan leader has set up a clan banquet, specifically ordering me to invite both of you over. Clan banquet? The moment is finally here. Fang Yuan thought. Chapter 269, Clan Banquet. A roomy courtyard was where Shang Yin Fei set up the clan banquet. It was an outdoor feast, because within the mountain, There was no need to worry about storm or rain. The courtyard was neither luxurious nor elegant, it was even rather old. There were a dozen or so tables arranged in a circle in the courtyard, which was already looking crowded from that. There were some fruits and snacks arranged on the tables and also labels indicating which seat belonged to who. 3 seats were already occupied. Big brother, do you know why Lord Father called us this time? Shang Chao Feng asked vaguely while popping a red fruit into his mouth. The eldest Shang Qianyo was sitting upright, his eyes closed as he rested. Hearing the question, he opened his eyes by a sliver and spoke in a deep voice. Lord Father has recently come out of closed cultivation. He is holding this clan banquet because he misses us. What's so strange about it? Big brother might be right. But when has Lord Father ever held a casual banquet? Look, don't you think there are a few more seats today? From the side, Shang Pu Lao interjected. Shang Chao Feng snickered, and Shang Qianyo closed his eyes again. Shang Pu Lao's gaze flickered. He was in charge of the red light zone and managed brothels of all sizes. He would be the fastest person to get any news. In truth, he had already heard some talks. He was just about to continue when suddenly his ears twitched. Someone has arrived. All three's gazes turned towards the gate. Creak. The gate was pushed open and 3 people walked in. Wei Yang was at the front, followed by Feng and Bai. Feng and Bai had already been here before. It was that private residence they had been called to before. This private residence is the place where Lord Clan Leader, when he was a young master, was suppressed by the alliance of other young masters. Lord Clan Leader took a step back and abandoned the position of young master of his own accord, becoming an ordinary clansman. During that fallen period, he stayed here. Later, when he became the clan leader, he maintained this place as a reminder to himself and later generations. The clan banquets are always held here. Wei Yang opened the gate and introduced. Immediately after, he saw the 3 people in the courtyard. Oh, 3 young masters are already here. Shang Qianyo, Shang Chao Feng, and Shang Pu Lao stood up one after another and cupped their hands to Wei Yang. Our greetings, Elder Wei Yang. Wei Yang was one of the 5 great generals under Shang Yin Fei and a major figure in Shang clan. Every single young master competing for the position of young clan leader has to go through his evaluation. My greetings to all 3 young masters. These 2 are esteemed guests invited by Lord Clan Leader. Wei Yang also cupped his hands in greeting, his expression calm. He was an elder, his status was higher than the young master positions, and as an important figure in the clan, he would not fawn on these young masters. Sirs, please take a seat. Wei Yang led Fang Yuan and Bai Ningbing to their seats. The 3 young masters looked at each other. They could see bewilderment, surprise, and curiosity in each other's eyes. This was a clan banquet. Why would any strangers be invited? Who are these 2? Their seats are actually closer to Lord Father's than ours. Wei Yang also sat down and continued on with a smile. Let me make the introductions. This is Shang Qianyo, Lord Clan Leader's eldest son. He manages the caretaking zone. This is Clan Leader's 4th son, Shang Chao Feng. He manages all the gu fighting arenas in the city. This is Shang Pu Lao. He manages all the brothels in red light zone. Shang Qianyo was robust and his voice was deep. One could tell he was a calm person from one look. He was the oldest, already nearing 30. Shang Chao Feng had a messy hair and high-nose bridge. He was giving off a wild aura. Shang Pu Lao looked the most delicate, a thin physique, white face, beautiful eyes, and a loose bearing showing that he loitered around with women all year round. Qianyo greets both esteemed guests. Shang Qianyo took the lead to cup his hands as a greeting. Wei Yang didn't introduce Feng and Bai. The 3 were smart and naturally wouldn't stupidly pursue it. The 3 young masters are too polite. I am He Tu, and this is my companion Bai Yuan. Fang Yuan introduced. The names were clearly fake. This made the 3 young masters more confused about Feng and Bai's origins. They could only laugh and go through the motion. As the time for evening banquet came closer, more young masters appeared. Shang Pai Xiu, who managed rock gambling dens, Shang Xuan Ni, who managed restaurants and silk stores, Shang Fu Shi, who managed auctions, Shang Baishi, who managed substitute refinement zone, and Shang Yazi, who Fang Yuan was already familiar with. Wei Yang introduced them to Feng and Bai. All these young masters more or less revealed strange looks as they saw Feng and Bai. They sat down as talks commenced. With the increased number of people, the small courtyard gradually became lively. Just before the banquet started, the gate suddenly opened and a young master hurriedly rushed in. He was tall and thin, thick eyebrows and fierce gaze. He was young Master Shang Baiyan, who was in charge of Shang Clan city guards. The city guards handled all sorts of disputes and contradictions, maintaining the law and order in the city, so it was the busiest. After greeting Feng and Bai, Shangbian was just sitting down when a blood-colored flame flickered on the main seat as Shang Yanfei appeared. Shang Yanfei was wearing a white robe with gold inlaid cuffs. Scarlet hair flew around wildly before resting on his waist. Combined with his extremely handsome face, it formed into an aura and charisma that was unique to him. "Your children greet Lord Father." The many young masters stood up one after another before half-kneeling down on the ground and greeting Shang Yanfei unitedly. Lord Clan Leader. Wei Yang stood up. At the same time, Feng and Bai also stood up to greet him. "Take your seats." Shang Yanfei laid back against the wide-backed chair and casually waved his hand. Immediately, 7 colored beautiful lights sprinkled down like rain. The beautiful lights landed on the tables and turned into all kinds of fine dishes, their fragrance immediately spreading in the small courtyard. Fang Yuan instantly recognized the gu as gourmet food box. It was a rank 5 gu, especially used to store delicacies and maintain their state. In his previous life, Fang Yuan tried hard to make a living in the caravan. He had no one to rely on after the destruction of Guyu clan. The sudden emergence of an alliance of demonic Gu masters on Etion Mountain overstepped the bottom line of the righteous paths. All great clans formed an alliance and besieged Etion Mountain Point. One of the heads of the allied forces, Shang Yanfei, used this gourmet food box Gu to provide for the armies. With just a wave of his sleeve, tens of thousands of soldiers were provided with gourmet food, becoming an enormous help in raising their morale. Since then, gourmet food box Gu became a symbol of Shang Yanfei and was a conversation topic for many people. At that time, Fang Yuan was able to become a small boss of the lowest level with his advantages as a transmigrator. He joined a sub-branch of a caravan which was in charge of transporting supplies to the Righteous Path allied forces. He had personally be able to see the grandeur of Shang Yanfei using gourmet food box Gu. Dazzling 7 colored lights filled the sky and shone down upon the world. It was a magnificent and grand atmosphere. Never expected that I would see this gourmet food box Gu years in advance and also become an esteemed guest of Shang clan. Fang Yuan heaved a sigh inwardly. There was clear difference between his previous life and this life. This was the enormous advantage of rebirth. And this advantage was from spring-autumn cicada, which was the accumulation and accomplishment of his previous life's struggles. Shang Yanfei spread the dishes and immediately addressed his sons. "We have 2 esteemed guests with us today. You all need to toast them. Qianyo, you are the eldest, set an example." With Shang Yanfei personally telling them, Shang clan young masters did not dare to act slowly even though they were bewildered. Shang Qianyo immediately stood up and raised a wine glass, saying with his deep voice, "Qianyo toast the 2 esteemed guests." With that, he swigged down the glass of wine. Fang Yuan also drank down a glass of wine while Bai Ningbing still drank water. Qianyo was the oldest among these young masters. He was almost 30, but his appearance looked quite mature as if he was 40. By contrast, his father Shang Yanfei looked like he was a youth in his 20s. The contrast between father and son was quite an interesting sight. I had a good talk with the 2 esteemed guests before. Esteemed guests, if you have time later, you could come to my zone to have fun. Gu battles are truly interesting. Shang Chaofeng also stood up. Fang Yuan's lips curled up into a smile. He knew quite a bit about Shang Chaofeng, though this was the first time they met. This man was very aggressive about winning and was ruthless and cunning. In Fang Yuan's previous life, at one time, he had been the biggest hindrance to Shang Xinc's position as Shang clan young master. 4th brothers Gu battles are too bloody. The best is still the delight of beauty singing and dancing for you. Shang Pu Lao retorted Shang Chaofeng before proposing a toast to Feng and Bai, his beautiful eyes flashing with light. "I wish to talk about romance and love with the 2 esteemed guests. If we have time, definitely," Fang Yuan said with a smile and chugged down the wine. This banquet looked like those for celebrities in his eyes. Most of these Shang clan young masters would have their own story that would spread throughout the southern border in future. Shang Yanfei had many children, but these people here were able to distinguish themselves in such an intense competition, clearly showing their abilities that surpassed others. One could call them a giant among men or unpolished jade stones. Moreover, they each had their own ways and styles of doing things. Right now, as they converged together in the same place, it was like a pearl shining off with light and darkness. For the time being, there was not much to say about eldest son Shang Qianyo, second son Shang Yazi, 4th son Shang Chaofeng, and 8th son Shang Pu Lao. 9th son Shang Xuan and I had a lion-like mouth and broad nose. He He seemed to be using some type of goo, as every time he breathed, light yellow smoke came out from his nose and curled around him. 10th Sun Shangbai, she was short and stout, looked honest, and did not seem to have anything remarkable about him. But Fang Yuan knew Shangbai she was hiding enormous strength that was higher than his by several times. 12th Sun Shangbai would have a marriage alliance with Tai clan, and come to become Southern Border's second divine detective after Tai Shuelang. 13th Sun Shangfu, she was very intelligent. His advice when the Righteous Path allied forces attacked Etion Mountain caused huge damage to demonic goo masters time and again. In the 21st Sun Shang Pai Xiu, he was the youngest and was a late bloomer. Many years later, when Shang clan fell into ruins, he threw himself into the demonic path and became a devil whose evil reputation spread far and wide over the southern border. Father, I am sorry I am late. As the toasts continued, the courtyard gate was opened and a girl walked in. She was Shang Qiwen, 16th daughter of Shang Yanfei, and held control over battle arenas. She had a fair face and her 2 eyes shone with a smart gaze. She was a lively and charming person. After everyone finished toasting the wine, Shang Yanfei raised his wine cup and faced Fang and Bai. Thank you for protecting Xinci all the way. That was the only reason I could gain a new daughter. Once he said so, everyone present was stunned. Chapter 270, Reward by Shang Yanfei. Daughter. The gang of young masters showed an astonished expression, looking towards one another. Shang Yi realized at once, patting his own forehead. So this was it. This was why father met the two with courtesy. The mysterious veil was lifted, and Shang Yi looked towards Fang Yuan, great hatred hidden in his gaze. He was no longer afraid. Now that he knew the reason, after the evaluation when he regains his footing, he would slowly deal with those two scoundrels. At once, the place fell into silence. Shang Yanfei smiled as he observed the people, giving them time to absorb the new information. Fang Yuan cooperatively expressed shock, as he was a little stunned, and muttered with a suspicious gaze, "Don't tell me?" "That's right." Shang Yanfei looked towards him, nodding. "It is that Lady Zhang both of you escorted and protected in the caravan. She is my daughter. Once she stepped into Shang Clan City, I detected her bloodline and have already reunited with her." Zhang Xinci. By Ningbing immediately followed. Shang Yanfei laughed heartily. He, she is no longer Zhang now, but Shang. Both of you saved the life of my precious daughter. You are the benefactor of my Shang clan. Thus you deserve a toast from us. Saying so, the door was opened by someone lightly. The young female Gu Master Tian Lan wore a servant attire as she pushed the door open, returning to Shang Xinci's side. Missy, Shao Dai looked at the courtyard full of people and felt nervous. Let's go in. Shang Xinci breathed out calmly, under everyone's watchful gaze, walked into the courtyard. Suddenly, her steps halted, showing surprise and joy on her face. She saw Fang and Bai. It really is her. Seeing Shang Xinci, Bai Ningbing's pupil shrunk to pin size as she was completely and utterly stunned. In the entire courtyard, no one could understand the shock in her heart. Bai Ningbing's shock was not from Shang Xinci, but Fang Yuan instead. She was an intelligent person. The moment she saw Shang Xinci, she understood at once what Fang Yuan's true motive was. Zhang Xinci is Shang Xinci, thus he protected her. How did he know her identity? Was this all part of his scheme? At that moment, Bai Ningbing's thoughts whirled as a storm brew in her heart. Brother He Tu, Sister Bai Yun, why are you here? Shang Xinci stared at Fang Yuan without blinking, her eyes shining brightly. Heir, father said I would give you a surprise, didn't I? Shang Yanfei laughed gently. Shang Xinci bowed and paid respects. Thank you, father. This is the happiest day I've had since coming to Shang Clan City. After the initial chaos, she had already accepted Shang Yanfei as her birth father. No matter how much her father had let down her mother, he was still her family, even if Shang Xinci had grudge and hatred towards Shang Yanfei. The kinship that tied them together could not be severed, especially for a kind lady like her. Shang Yanfei heard her call him father for the first time, and his lips curled up, showing a radiant smile. Shang Xinci turned around again, showing anxiety. As she explained, to Fang Yuan, Brother He Tu, I was not intentionally lying to you. After mother passed away, she instructed me to come to Shang Clan City. I only understood her efforts and the truth after meeting father. The words were like lightning bolts striking Bai Ningbing's heart. Her blue eyes squinted into a line, as her heart was filled with surprise and confusion. Even Shang Xinci did not know her identity? Why? Why does Fang Yuan know everything? Originally, Fang Yuan was shrouded in a mist in her heart, unable to observe him clearly. But now, the mist thickened, and Fang Yuan became even more mysterious and unpredictable. So that's it. I was wondering why Shang Clan was treating me so well. So this is the reason. Fang Yuan sighed as he raised his head, then slowly shook his head, exclaiming, To think that you were Shang Clan leader's daughter. Brother He too, can you forgive me? Shang Xinci gripped her hand, asking nervously. Shang Yanfei frowned lightly. Seeing his daughter's attitude, he knew that she held him in high regard. Fang Yuan laughed. No matter, why would I blame you? The unknowing party is innocent. In fact, I have lied to you too. What? Shang Xinci froze. Fang Yuan rubbed his nose. He too, Bai Yun are just fake names. Shang Xinci smiled gently, lightly saying, I guessed that long ago. Fang Yuan hesitated deliberately, then gritted his teeth and cupped his fist. I am ashamed. My real name is Guyu Fang Zheng. This is my companion by Ning Bing. Guyu Fang Zheng, Fang Zheng. Shang Xinci repeated this name several times, memorizing it to heart. Shang Yanfei's smile also widened. He appreciated Fang Yuan's honesty. The truth is, he had investigated long ago, although Guyu clan was wiped out. Shang clan had its ways to find out information from Jia clan. Guu village had this person called Guyu Fang Zheng, and this person had a great aptitude, and was the young clan leader candidate. At the same time, Bai Ning Bing was the Bai clan's young clan leader candidate. The two were hailed as geniuses. As for why they had to hide themselves and sneak into the caravan, this was easier to investigate. Because of Baigu Mountain's inheritance, Bai clan's two young masters died in their hands. At the same time, they took over half of the inheritance away. Bai clan issued an arrest warrant, which was the best proof. So that's why my heart was palpitating earlier. Shang Pulao laughed. This child congratulates Lord Father. Shang Baishi said, If you face any problems, tell Big Brother. Shang Qianyo looked at Shang Xinci and said, This is awesome. I have a new sister. This banquet was worth coming. Shang Qiwen laughed. The young masters recovered from their shock and quickly showed their affection. This is a joyful occasion for us all, because you have all gotten a new blood-related sister. Shang Yanfei looked at his children, extremely clear of their mental state. Shang Xinci's appearance is no doubt a threat. From now on, there would be one more person vying for the young master position. Back then, wasn't Shang Tua Hai father's illegitimate child? Right now he is the Shang clan young clan leader. Actually, there is no need to worry. Zhang clan is a subsidiary of Wu clan, and have enmity with Shang clan. Shang Xinci has no foundation here. She is easy to deal with. The young masters showed a smiling face, but their hearts were weighing the situation. The imperial family has no place for kinship. The emperor's throne is crucial for the greatest benefits. Not even kinship can complete. Shang clan is the southern border overlord. Whoever rises to the position of clan leader in the future would be one of the parties that had a say in the entire southern border. High and mighty, ascending to the peak of the mortal realm, the benefits were unbelievable. Which generation of Shang clan leader did not undergo a ferocious battle before they ascended to the position painstakingly? Shang Yanfei had gone through this before, so he was clear of the situation right now. Thus, his heart went out to Shang Xinci even more. Right now, by announcing her identity, although it was to protect her, it also threw her into this spiral of competition. Come, Ci heir, sit here. Shang Yanfei patted the seat below him, saying, Yes. Shang Xinci replied, looking deeply at Fang Yuan as Fang Yuan nodded at her with a smile. Shang Xinci walked over, sitting beside Shang Yanfei. Xiao Lan, Xiao Dai, these two servants were close behind her. Seeing this, everyone's expression was strange. Since they were born, they had never seen father love one of his children to this extent. Even his illegitimate son Shang Tua Hai did not receive such treatment. All right, all of you, take a seat. Shang Yanfei waved his hand, looking towards Fang, and by again he spoke. Yu Fang Zheng, by Ning Bing, the two of you saved my precious daughter, and escorted her here. Our family is deeply indebted to you. If you have any requests, you may say it now. As the Shang clan leader, I will do my best to satisfy your needs. The young masters turned to look at Fang and Bai, with a look of envy. This was the gratitude of Shang clan leader, a promise by the southern border overlord. His words were as heavy as a mountain, but Fang Yuan shook his head. Lord clan leader. The reason we protected Lady Shang Xinci is due to her previous kindness. Our debt has already been repaid. We do not owe each other anything. As he said so, everyone showed a shocked expression. Shang Fushi quickly reacted, squinting, praising the ingenuity of the answer. Feng and Bai saved the Shang Yanfei's daughter. He had to reward them handsomely. If he does not, how would outsiders look at Shang Clan? If any Shang Clan young master encountered danger in the future, who would help them? Shang Xinci saw Fang Yuan rejecting the reward and quickly got anxious, saying to Shang Yanfei, "Father, during the caravan trip, Brother He-Tu lost much of his assets too." Shang Yanfei was a brilliant man. Before Shang Xinci finished her words, he understood her intentions. This was to sought money for Fang, and by dot he nodded. "Since both of you are Gu masters, I shall gift 1,000,000 primeval stones to express my thanks." Hearing this, many young masters almost drooled. Although they controlled much of Shang Clan's assets, but it was under everyone's supervision, and there was a yearly evaluation, they could hardly line their own pockets. Shang Yizi had talent, but was too greedy, causing his business results to be in jeopardy. Fang Yuan shook his head again. "To speak the truth, I had gone through a peril situation to snatch an inheritance. After selling the recipe, I no longer lack primeval stones." "Oh, is that so?" Shang Yanfei looked at Shang Yizi with deep meaning. Shang Yizi was so scared his heart nearly jumped out. His mouth went dry and cold sweat gathered on his forehead. Regarding Shang Yizi's matter, how could Shang Yanfei not know? Even if he faked the accounting, what happened could be easily guessed, but Shang Yizi was still his own son. Even if he violated the Shang Clan rules, as long as it was not exposed, that counts as his skill too. Being at this position, he had learnt long ago, obeying the rules was not an ability. True ability lies in breaking the rules to gain benefits, yet not receiving punishment. Those with true capabilities demolish the old order, while establishing new rules and enjoying the benefits along the way. Shang Yanfei used this chance to remind Shang Yizi, before he gave another reward for them to consider. Shang Xinci only heard half of it, before her eyes glowed intensely. This was exactly what Feng and Bai needed the most.